Sarah didn't set out to become a millionaire. She wasn't even a coin collector. She was just trying to fix a leaky pipe under her late uncle's porch in rural Vermont. Hammer in one hand, flashlight in the other, when her boot kicked something hollow beneath the floorboards. What she pulled out wasn't insulation or old wiring. It was a rusted metal box, and inside, over 4,000 coins. Not just any coins. Mint State 1916 Standing Liberty Quarters. 1909 SVDB Lincoln Cents. Gem 1878 CC Morgan Dollars. And one single coin, that hadn't been seen in public for over 80 years. In this video, you'll discover how a forgotten stash of pocket change rewrote the history of American coin collecting, triggered a legal battle that reached the state Supreme Court, and turned a sleepy New England town into the epicenter of a global numismatic frenzy. You'll meet the eccentric local historian who cracked the code behind the hoard's origin, the auction house that nearly rejected the coins as fakes, and the anonymous bidder who paid more for one piece than most people earn in a decade. Stick around, because the final hammer price on that last coin, it didn't just break records. It shattered them. Let's rewind. The year was 1923. The town? Maple Hollow, population 812. A quiet place where farmers bartered eggs for nails and the postmaster knew everyone's business. But behind the counter at the First National Bank, cashier Elias Whitmore had a secret. He wasn't just balancing ledgers. He was quietly siphoning off uncirculated coins. Not stolen, mind you, but set aside. Silver dollars fresh from the Denver and Carson City mints. Key-date dimes the bank received in bulk shipments. And every so often, a proof coin that slipped through from Philadelphia. Elias wasn't greedy. He was a preservationist before the word existed. He believed these coins were national treasures, too beautiful to vanish into circulation. So he stashed them. In cigar boxes, in coffee tins, behind loose bricks in the bank's basement. And when Prohibition-era gangsters started eyeing small-town banks, he moved the hoard piece by piece to his sister's farmhouse. The very same porch Sarah would crawl under 98 years later. But here's where it gets stranger. Elias Whitmore died in 1931, never married, no children, no will mentioning the coins. His sister, Martha, inherited the house, and apparently never knew what was under her feet. She lived there until 1972. Then her son. Then her grandson. The coins? Forgotten. Buried under decades of dust, insulation, and squirrel nests. Until Sarah's plumbing emergency. What happened next shocked even the experts. Sarah, thinking she'd found old junk, took the box to a local pawn shop. The owner offered her $200. She almost took it, but something nagged at her. That night, she Googled 1916 quarter. Her screen lit up with auction results. 15,000, 28,000, 85,000 for a single coin. She drove 3 hours to the nearest PCGS dealer. When he opened the box, he didn't speak for 7 minutes. Then he called his boss. Then he called Heritage Auctions. Then he called the FBI just to be safe. The plot thickens. Turns out, Elias Whitmore's hoard contained 11 coins previously listed in the Numismatic Ghost Index. Coins so rare, experts believed they no longer existed. Among them, a 1913 S. Barber quarter graded MS-67. Only 2 were known. Until now, a 1921 D. Mercury dime with full bands and 0 circulation marks. And the crown jewel, a 1918/7S Standing Liberty quarter. Overdate, bold, uncirculated. PCGS had never certified one above MS-64. Sarah's? MS-66 plus. The last known example sold in 1984 for $38,000. Adjusted for inflation? About $112,000. But that was then. That's when everything changed. News of the hoard leaked. Not to Coin World. Not to Numismatic News. To Reddit. A blurry photo of the 1918/7S posted in r/coins went viral. Within 48 hours, Maple Hollow had tour buses. Collectors camped on lawns. Metal detectorists scanned the town square. The mayor declared a state of emergency. And heritage auctions? They set up a pop-up grading station in the high school gym. Here's the twist no one saw coming. While everyone fixated on the 1918/7S, a quiet German collector named Klaus Reinhardt zeroed in on something else. A single 1894 barber dime, tucked between two rolls of wheat pennies, barely visible. No touning. No scratches. PCGS slabbed it as MS-68. Only 24 were ever minted. 9 were known to survive. This made 10. And Klaus? He'd spent 40 years hunting for one. He told Heritage, "Name your reserve. I'll meet it." Most collectors thought this was impossible. Until the auction results came in. Heritage held the sale live in Dallas, but streamed it to Maple Hollow's community center, where 300 townspeople watched on a projector screen. The 1918/7S opened at 200,000. Bids flew, 350K, 600K, 950K. Then a phone bidder from Singapore pushed it to 1.2 million. The room gasped. But Klaus? He hadn't even raised his paddle yet. The bidding war that followed broke every record in numismatic history. When the 1894 dime hit the block, Klaus opened at 1 million. A collector from Dubai countered, 1.5 million. Klaus 2 million. Silence. Then, from the back row, an 82-year-old woman in a floral dress, Sarah's next-door neighbor, raised her hand. 3 million, she whispered. The auctioneer froze. Klaus nodded. 4. The room erupted. The neighbor? She was Elias Whitmore's last living relative, and she had documentation proving partial ownership. Heritage paused the auction. Lawyers huddled. 2 hours later, they reached a settlement. Sarah would get 70. The neighbor, 30. Klaus? He'd have to wait. What the coin grading company discovered next sent shockwaves through the collecting world. While reviewing the 1894 under magnification, PCGS spotted a microscopic die crack near Liberty's ear, identical to one on the legendary Eliasberg specimen, the finest known 1894 last sold in 2016 for 1.9 million. This wasn't just another survivor. This was its twin, struck from the same die pair. Within minutes, Heritage updated the lot description. Klaus raised his bid to 4.8 million. The neighbor didn't flinch. 5, she said. Klaus bowed out. The gavel fell. The final price? 5,040,000, including buyer's premium. The highest price ever paid for a US dime. Sarah walked away with 3.5 million. The neighbor? 1.5 million. They split the rest of the hoard over 8 million total. Maple Hollow used its cut to rebuild the school, pave the roads, and open a small coin museum in Elias Whitmore's honor. And Klaus? He got his dime, framed it, hung it next to his fireplace, and sent Sarah a handwritten note. Some treasures aren't meant to stay buried. Thank you for letting the world see it. If you think this story is wild, wait until you hear about the railroad worker who found a 1943 bronze sent in a pile of scrap metal, and the government that tried to confiscate it. That's next week. Smash that subscribe button because rare coins are still out there hiding in plain sight. And your attic? It might be worth more than your house.